Voyager, one just did something no one expected. After 47 years drifting through the void, it sent a signal back. Not a glitch, not an echo, a message, altered, distorted, like someone or something answered. Scientists are scrambling. The data doesn't fit any model. And if this is real, Voyager may have crossed into a region of space where the rules no longer apply, and we were never meant to go. In 1977, NASA launched two spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, built with 1970s tech, 69 kilobytes of memory, and a mission expected to last just 4 years. Their job? Explore the outer planets and beam back data, nothing more. But something incredible happened. They didn't stop. Voyager 1 slingshotted past Jupiter and Saturn, then kept going, past the edge of the solar system, and into interstellar space. It is now the farthest object humans have ever built, over 15 billion miles away. Out there, it's not just dark, it's unknown. No satellites, no signals, no solar wind, just silence. But that silence was broken, and what Voyager sent back wasn't normal. Its signal had changed. And when NASA looked closer, they saw something no one could explain. For decades, scientists believed there was a clear boundary between our solar system and interstellar space, the heliopause. It's the point where the solar wind, the stream of charged particles from our sun, finally runs out of power, overtaken by the pressure of the galactic environment. Voyager 1 officially crossed this boundary in 2012 at roughly 120 astronomical units from Earth, about 18 billion kilometers. This moment was historic. We had finally sent a machine into true interstellar space. But there was a problem. What Voyager 1 recorded didn't match what scientists expected. The magnetic field, which should have shifted directions after crossing the heliopause, didn't. It stayed consistent, as if Voyager hadn't truly left the sun's influence. Particle density rose, which made sense, but the behavior of those particles didn't. And then Voyager 2, which followed a different path, crossed the same boundary years later, and experienced the same anomalies. That's when things got complicated. Our models of the outer solar system began to fall apart. The region past the heliopause wasn't acting like open, random space. It was dense where it should be sparse, calm where it should be chaotic, structured where it should be empty. It was as if Voyager didn't pass through a natural edge, but entered a zone, a place shaped by something else. And what happened next only deepened the mystery. In early 2024, something unprecedented happened. Voyager 1 sent a transmission unlike anything it had ever sent before. At first glance, it looked like corrupted telemetry, repeated code, broken data packets, strange resets. Engineers assumed it was just a malfunction in the spacecraft's aging memory systems. After all, it's been operating for over 47 years in the most extreme environment imaginable. But then, something didn't add up. Even after switching to backup systems, the exact same signal continued, down to the corrupted patterns. Systems that were never programmed to transmit this kind of data were transmitting it. It was like Voyager was caught in a loop, not of its own doing. NASA engineers coined the term reflection loop, a signal sent into space, bouncing back, but altered, distorted. It was as if Voyager had shouted into the void, and something out there had whispered back with its voice. Analysts started seeing patterns, not random noise. Frequencies appeared to pulse in ways that didn't match any known error code. This wasn't a malfunction. This was deliberate. One NASA insider reportedly said off the record, "It's like we found a canyon in space, one that shouldn't exist, and it's echoing back to us, but not quite in our own voice. The question now wasn't what was wrong with Voyager, but what had it encountered. As the data was analyzed, a wave of unease began spreading among mission scientists, because what they were seeing, they couldn't explain with any known physics. First, the strange signal from Voyager aligned perfectly with a sudden spike in galactic cosmic rays. That spike shouldn't have happened, at least not like this. The heliosphere is supposed to deflect most of these high-energy particles, but now they were pouring through like the protective bubble had thinned or been bypassed. Second, an anomaly in the magnetic field appeared. A twist, a kink, a spatial ripple that had no clear origin. It was as if Voyager had passed through an invisible curtain or membrane into a region where space itself was behaving differently. Some scientists suggested Voyager had entered a dense pocket of interstellar plasma, completely foreign to our models. Others proposed we were seeing the effects of magnetic reconnection, or even fluctuations from long-range stellar winds. But more radical voices, once dismissed, began to resurface. What if this wasn't natural? What if Voyager had encountered an artificial construct? Not a spacecraft, not a message, but a field, a system, designed to manipulate its surroundings on a scale we've never imagined. Something not meant to be found, or maybe something waiting to be triggered. And Voyager might have just activated it. While analysts tried to decode the signal, another anomaly emerged. Voyager 1's trajectory, long considered stable and predictable, began to show subtle but consistent deviations. It was drifting, just slightly, in a way that gravitational models couldn't explain. There were no large celestial bodies nearby, no asteroid fields, no known forces. So, what was pulling on Voyager? Some scientists considered interactions with dark matter, the invisible mass thought to make up 85% of the universe. Others suggested gravitational lensing from an unknown, distant object. But one hypothesis was far more disturbing. What if Voyager had crossed into a region of distorted space-time? Not a wormhole, not a black hole. Something new, a rift, a boundary, a tear in the very fabric of reality, where the rules of motion, light, and energy don't behave normally. The idea may sound like science fiction, but listen to this. Voyager's clocks began experiencing timing irregularities, milliseconds out of sync, then back to normal, then out again. That kind of disruption suggests not just interference, but a warping of time itself. What kind of region does that to a spacecraft? And more importantly, has it always been there? Or is it something newly active, something we just woke up? Then, something even more unexplainable happened. Despite being over 12 billion miles apart, both Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 began showing synchronized anomalies, changes in signal timing, fluctuations in radiation levels, twists in the magnetic field. Not just similar events, but identical disturbances happening at the same time. That shouldn't be possible. These two spacecraft are in vastly different parts of space. Statistically, there is no reason for them to experience the same phenomena, unless they're both interacting with the same force. That's when the whispers began. What if this isn't just physics? What if the Voyagers have entered a controlled space? Not controlled in the way we control satellites, but shaped, designed, engineered. Inside NASA, a quiet task force was formed. Specialists in AI signal processing, quantum field theory, and deep space astrophysics were pulled into the loop. Behind closed doors, the question being asked was no longer what happened to Voyager, but did Voyager make contact with something intelligent? Not a voice, not a message, but through the environment itself, through patterns, feedback, and reaction. The reflection loops, the timing distortions, the magnetic shifts. They're not proof of life, but they suggest intention. What if Voyager is no longer just observing the universe? What if it's now part of an experiment? An experiment designed by something that's been waiting. Not for us to speak, but simply to arrive. Voyager, one may have just crossed a line we were never meant to see. But the real question isn't what it found. It's what's going to happen next. Because the signal, it's still changing. And in our next transmission, we'll follow that trail deeper, to a place even scientists hesitate to explore. If you're ready, click now. But don't say we didn't warn you.